10 o'clock. Okay. All right. Having reached the hour of 10 o'clock, I'm calling this meeting of the Transportation Committee to order. May we have a roll call?
Chaplin. Here. Colbert. Evans. Here. Ozog.
Here.
Tornatori.
Here.
Zay.
Here.
Okay, great. We are no current chair remarks. Any public comment?
None.
None. Okay. Next, I move to approve the minutes of our Tuesday, March 5th meeting. We've got a second. Any comments or changes? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next, I move for approval of DTP 001924, recommendation for the
Second.
approval of a contract purchase order to Peterbilt, Illinois, doing business as JX Truck Center, Elmhurst, to furnish and deliver Cummins engine repair and replacement parts as needed for the Division of Transportation for the period April 1st, 2024 through March 31st, 2025 for a contract total not to exceed $60,000 per lowest responsible bid. I have a second. Comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Move for approval of DTP 002024, recommendation for the approval of a contract to Superior Asphalt
Second.
Materials LLC to furnish and deliver bituminous paving materials and UPM bituminous cold patch as needed for the Division of Transportation for the period April 1st, 2024 through March 31st, 2025 for a contract total not to exceed $65,000 per lowest responsible bid. I have a second. Comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. I move for approval of DTP 002124, recommendation for the approval of a contract to Terra Engineering Limited for traffic study engineering services with the DuPage County Trail System for a contract total not to exceed $74,192.36 for the period March 26, 2024 through November 30th, 2024. Professional services vetted through a qualification-based selection process. I have a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, I move for approval of DTP 002224. Recommendation for the approval of contract to Energicity Corporation, doing business as Rack 'em Up Equipment Distributors. That is better. To install 7 vertical rise vehicle lifts for the Division of Transportation for a contract total not to exceed $769,491.10 for the period March 26, 2024 through November 30th, 2025. Not suitable for competitive bids, sole source, factory trained and authorized installer. I have a second. Member Desart.
Oh, thank you. So are these new? Are they replacements? Are they going in the new building? Is that, because I see that 6E, I believe, is the purchase of them, and then 6D is the installment of them. Am I getting that wrong, or
No,
are they for the new building?
You got that right. They're not for the new building, they're for our current fleet building, the replacement. And like Mike can talk briefly about, a little bit more specifically about it if you're interested,
Are
but
they newer replacements?
they're replacements for, the lifts that we have that are, 15 years old, that are
They're
failing.
about 20 years old. They're what we use to repair our plow trucks, so they're constantly in salt throughout the winter time. So they've corroded. They're getting old. They're no longer built, so it's getting very difficult to find parts for repairing them now. So these are replacing the existing lifts that we have.
Thank you. And when is the timeline for the new building to be done? Because I'm looking at almost $800,000 just to install them.
We are not ready to talk about the timeline of the new building, but I think it's fair to say, Mike, that these could be repurposed in the new building.
They could be repurposed, and our fleet building is staying where it is. That's not going to move. to
Oh,
the new location
gotcha.
with us.
Okay, so the $800,000 just to install, they'll still be in a fleet building.
Correct.
Thank you.
So this, just to be clear, this is for the
Okay.
180 building, which is
180.
behind the 140. So 140 is the building that we're talking about moving out of. 180 is the next building back, which is our fleet garage, our maintenance, vehicle maintenance garage, right? And that building is gonna stay.
Thank you, Madam Chair, because I was thinking if we're installing at $800,000 just to install, and then we have to uninstall and put them in a new building. That was my thought process, but I'm good.
And I thank you for your
Yes,
excellent
that's a good
question.
question.
Perfect. Mr. Zay.
Same question, asked and
Thank you.
answered.
And I thank you for your excellent question.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, but the rest of this discussion is to be continued. So, okay, I now move, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, caught myself. All right, I move for, now we're gonna do some change orders. I move for
No.
approval.
No, we gotta do this.
2024.
Oh, forgive me. Okay. I move for approval of DTP 002324, recommendation for the approval of
Second.
contract to Mohawk Lifts LLC to furnish and deliver 7 vertical rise vehicle lifts for the Division of Transportation for the period March 26, 2024 through April 13th, 2025 for a contract total not to exceed $1,961,023.12. Contract pursuant to Intergovernmental Cooperation Act. Can I have a second? Any more comments or questions? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, thanks. Now, change orders. I move for approval of 240892, amendment to resolution DTP 005223, issued to Auto Tech Centers Incorporated to furnish and
Second.
deliver Goodyear tires as needed for the Division of Transportation to increase the encumbrance in the amount of $35,000 and extend the current contract through June 30th, 2024, resulting in an amended contract total amount of $185,000, an increase of 23.33%, contract pursuant to the Intergovernmental Cooperation Act. I have a second. Any comments or questions about this? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Next, I move for approval of 240907, amendment to resolution DTP 021C19, issued to Civil Tech Engineering
Second.
to provide professional preliminary engineering services for improvements to County Highway 2 Belmont Finley Road at Ogden Avenue and County Highway 2 Cross Street at Ogden Avenue to increase the funding in the amount of $146,057.22, resulting in an amended contract total amount of $462,353.26, an increase of 46.818%, and a cumulative increase of $203,186.09. Okay, and a second. Any comments or questions about this? Mr. Zay?
Yeah, I mean, 78.4% now. I mean, is this, we just added on to the scope of this? That's basically what I'm seeing.
It's an expansion of, it's the same scope, but we're having to do more of it, right? So the survey, we have to do more survey than was originally planned. There's been a lot more IDOT coordination than was originally expected. Ogden Avenue is IDOT's road, and it's obviously a key part of this project, so.
Okay.
And the original contract was developed pre-pandemic. And so obviously a lot of things changed along the way that we just weren't able to anticipate.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you. Now we're going to we're going to do some awarding resolutions. I move for approval of DTR 001324, awarding resolution issued to Maneval Construction Company for the DuPage County Fairgrounds parking lot improvements for an estimated county cost of $527,344.90 per lowest responsible bid. I have a second. Any comments or questions about this? Mr. Zay, you have no questions about this?
No, I mean, I'm sure we had
Did I
talked.
not tell you this?
Yeah, I know,
morning?
we had talked. It's just, I went to vote there and it's like, we just did the parking lots in that one section. And they moved the voting to the other section where the lot's not done. So Madam Chair said, no, we're doing that one too. So
And
That's working out.
hopefully this will be done before the fall election season. What do you think?
Well, hopefully it's-
I'm not pinning you to a.
Hopefully it's done before Memorial Day because
Oh,
it's
good.
it's grant funded.
Oh,
and
yes.
The grant requirement is that we have all the bills turned in
By
before
the-
June 30th. So,
Okay,
yeah, it's been very successful the last 2 years. And so I think we have the same success.
okay.
thank you.
With county fair too.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, thank you, Bill. I move for approval of DTR 0. Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. I move for approval of DTR 001424, awarding resolution issued to
Second.
Superior Road Striping for the 2024 pavement marking maintenance program for an estimated county cost of $470,795.68 per lowest responsible bid. I have a second. Any comments or questions? Oh, Miss
Yeah, I've asked.
Member Desart.
Miss Desart. Miss Member Desart. I've asked this about other issues before too, but for $741,000, it seems like we could hire a couple of people for full-time to do pavement markings instead of going out of the
So
building for this sort of thing.
we can take a fresh look at it. In the past, the cost of getting, it's multiple types of trucks that have to be used, and there's a lot of on-street personnel who have to
And we
direct
don't own
traffic.
any of those trucks,
We
pavement
don't.
marking trucks?
We don't. We used to have a paint truck that we did some basic pavement marking with, but it couldn't do the the thermoplastic and the polyurea are the two types of materials that are used for actual roadway marking. Paint, we could do like in the parking lot here, not on the highway. And I know even with the paint truck, it was difficult for Mike and his crews to have the right number, to dedicate the right number of staff that you need to direct traffic around the situation and change the colors out if you're changing from yellow to white. For our staff, for our abilities, it wasn't making sense to also be able to do all the on-street maintenance they needed. But we could take a look
Yeah,
at
the investment might
cost.
be worth.
Yeah.
you
It's
know.
been a while since
Worth
we've looked
looking
into
at.
that sort of thing, so we can definitely
All right, thanks.
kind of
Bill.
do an analysis.
And would you say this is a typical striping contract for about $500,000 a year?
We budget $500,000 and then we actually do a bid. Our bid is set up with alternates so that we try to get the most competitive price we can and get as much work
course.
done as we can.
Right, right. Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Right, thank you. Finally, I move for approval of DTR 001524, grant of dedication from the County of DuPage to the City of West Chicago, Local Government Property Transfer Act.
Second.
I've got a second. Comments or questions about this? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Any old business? No. Any new business? No. I move to adjourn.
Second.
At least we're using Superior.